being better can be really difficult to do, as it's so easy to just fall in line with the status quo. However, when 85% of all United States forest fires are directly human caused, we must find a way to be better. And the 2020 East Troublesome Fire depicts why we need to be, for the sake of natural places like that of Rocky Mountain National Park. Almost 200,000 acres, or 264,000 football fields worth of land, 400 to 500 structures, and 2 lives were lost as a result of this blaze, with Rocky Mountain National Park being heavily impacted, all in just a single October week. This really hit close to home for myself, being somebody who has spent many childhood years in and around the park, especially when it was discovered that the fire was of human cause. This added to the destruction because human fires have been proven to be twice as destructive as natural fires. And I think this depicts the crossroads we find ourselves at. We can continue what we have been doing, leaving our landscape to be consumed in a way that would make even Fire Lord Ozai envious, or we can learn to be better through simple education and actions, performing them well so we can best protect areas like that of Rocky Mountain National Park. But what are the areas in which we should educate ourselves on, and what actions are the best to protect this place for all those who call it home and for future generations? I would like to share some of the importance that Rocky Mountain National Park has had on me. Some of my earliest memories involve the park. There were the early morning drives to hear the elk bugle, visits to the top of Trail Ridge, and lessons that my parents taught me about respecting the park and making it last for others even after I'm gone. However, not everybody follows this path of action. And seeing how extensive and damaging the blaze truly got, I was not the only one affected. Many locals in the Grand Lake area and Rocky Mountain National Park itself found themselves in unforeseen circumstances. One of them being my own grandpa, Nelson Hendrickson Sr.
I guess I was very fortunate because the fire went around where I was. Uh, the effect was that you realize I'm at the end of the road, and when there's a fire like that, there's only one way out. And I guess my concern was that when I got to Highway 34, if everybody was trying to leave Grand Lake and stuff, could I get onto 34?
Thankfully, my grandfather's house was spared, but damage was extremely widespread, and not everyone was so lucky, like Donnie and Jody Kern. In an article published through the Denver Gazette, the Kerns explained how, in a matter of mere minutes, they lost their entire property, where they had raised 2 kids at for over 20 years. In the aftermath, some like that of Janice Cohen have suggested that this event is a bit of an outlier, but that may soon change given how many forest experts are speaking on the issue. Foresters and firefighters Ron Cousineau and Mike Schultz have remarked on the difficulties of their profession, which is highly understaffed and overworked. In this way, massively destructive fires may become less of an outlier. This is concerning as it suggests we cannot protect the national park using only official services. East Troublesome eliminated much of the good work done through official services, and to recoup what has been lost, it could take anywhere between 3 and 20 years. We must begin to pull our own weight, or this timeline may become even longer. Conservation has been said by some to require the correct time and place for action. Well, there isn't a better time or place right now than the park, as it desperately tries to recover from its first major fire since 2012. One way to practice quality conservation is something that my own parents have instilled upon me since I was a little kid, and that is the idea of leaving no trace. Essentially, making sure that all we leave behind when we visit a place of nature is footprints. Leaving no trace is not a difficult thing to do. Some of the most popular forms include keeping all trash on your person, using refillable bottles, and leaving what we find. It may not seem like much, but this helps us build a better relationship with the environment while assisting those forest workers who are crucially understaffed. However, not everybody knows how to practice the principles of leaving no trace, which is why education, especially with adults, is so important. We need to learn that we are not the center of the universe and treat the outdoors like a friend's house, because it is. One thing that is easy to learn is trail care when in the park. When on one of the park's many trails, we must learn to only walk in the specified path and to utilize bear-safe trash cans. Doing this will help us, animals, and the park itself remain happy and healthy. We should remain mindful of wildlife in general, learning to give them the space that they need to thrive. Additionally, we must learn better fire practices. Forest fires are not a canon event, so we're not destined to cause them. Fire should be built within a proper pit or ring, and we should remain mindful of the embers. When putting out our fires, we should work to make sure that they are fully out and doused with water and soil. It is important to remain aware of the relative fire danger, as it is when we are being less vigilant that dangerous possibilities arise. It only takes one spark. Don't let it be yours.
And people should be more aware when they have fires in a area where there's a lot of combustible stuff. And all we can do is educate. And I mean, there used to be Smokey the Bear was all over the place, and I think that's dwindled somewhat. But people used to smoke and throw stuff out the car windows, but they were more aware of how to prevent it.
We don't have to let our park disappear. Rocky Mountain National Park has been a home to me and many others. Right now it is suffering, but we can very easily change that. These are some of the beginning steps in which we could take to put us on the right path. We just need to take them. There is no one answer to how we can protect Rocky Mountain National Park. I wish there was, but there is not. Instead, we must find several ways in which we can all play a role in being part of the solution. All I ask is that we don't stand by and let the beauty of Rocky Mountain National Park be destroyed. The ball is quite literally in our court. For too long, we have neglected our responsibility to Rocky Mountain National Park. It is up to us to protect this beautiful place of Colorado through learning and participating in even the smallest actions. We have to, for all that call it home and for future generations alike.